Hello, good morning. It is morning, and I'm usually on probably what is wrong? I can't speak today. I'm usually on around in the afternoon around 1 o'clock or so, but today I'm actually going to do two live streams because I actually need to respond to someone who sent me a message in regards to my live stream from a couple of days ago. It's where if you're looking through my Facebook feed and you want to know which live stream I'm responding to because someone obviously was upset with me, I have on a brown shirt and you can see like pink bra straps. But let me tell you, stay tuned today because it's about to get good. And by the way, oh my God, I love when people send me responses. However, if you're going to send me a response, you got to make sure that it is well thought out, that you bring the facts, because let me tell you, the one thing I can do like nobody's business is debate. So you really, really, really got to bring it. So this is a little bit of a rant. This is a little bit of a rant for real, not even lying, total rant. There's also a response, but there's also a lesson learned, and thank you for the hearts and shout out. So I am going to pop on my glasses so I can actually see, because you know what? I can't see without them. All right. So I put on a live stream a couple of days ago, and one of the things that I talked about in that live stream was when you're first starting out and you have very little investment dollars, you have very little money that you can use, then the one thing that you need to do is you need to figure out how to do some things yourself. Because quite honestly, when you're broke, when you don't have all the money that you really need, sometimes you have to do things yourself. The other thing is sometimes people make the mistake, especially business owners, of throwing money at a problem. They do it all the time. And that's a very traditional way of thinking, right? If we have a problem, the best way to fix it is throw money at it. Well, honestly, if you want to be a little bit more innovative, sometimes you got to pull back on the cash and start doing some things yourself, or at least learning. Have enough knowledge so that when you are ready to actually go and hire someone, that the person that you're hiring, you understand what they're doing. You're speaking their language. I'm not saying you have to be a professional and be proficient, but you should be good enough to understand when they're actually selling you something of value as compared to, and by the way, pardon my French, bullshitting you. So I'm going to share with you what someone wrote, and I'm not sharing your name because I would never do that. That's just wrong. But hopefully they get a chance to watch it so they can hear it. All right. So here's the first thing they say. The first thing they wanted to tell me was that all my do-it-yourself advice is what hamstrings a lot of professionals. That they would go a lot farther, faster if they hired people who were, and this is my favorite part, the best in the world at what they do sooner in their journey. This is especially true, my favorite part, in the design and photography world. Now, that's bullshit. I'm just going to say that right now. That's bullshit. Don't get me wrong. I recognize that photographers are great. And yes, they do a great job on design and photography. But I'm going to tell you, as an expert, people aren't hiring me because I have really cool pictures. They're not. That's not why they bring me on stage. They don't bring me on stage because I'm cute. They bring me on stage because I know what the hell I'm talking about. But this person is saying that what people should invest their money in when they first start out is some damn good pictures. Really? Not business expertise so you can learn your focus, so that you can ensure that you're reaching your target market, that you're actually having an offering that they want, that you recognize why your expertise is of value. No. Don't invest in that because that'd be stupid. Don't invest in ensuring that you are marketing to the right people, that you understand marketing, that you know how marketing works. Don't invest in that. That would be ridiculous. Don't invest in understanding how sales and closing deals and negotiations and contracts works, because that would be absolutely freaking ridiculous. What you really need is some great pictures. Okay. No. This is another thing. She goes, I know you feel really enamored of the pictures you took yourself. However, I would argue that any success you have is in spite of the lack of professionalism in your photos and not because of them. So she basically said, you got some amateur ass photos on your website. And quite honestly, people are going to your website and running the other direction because they're so amateurish. Love that part. And then she talks about the microphone shot that I use on my social media. Okay, so the microphone shot is a total inside joke, and it is a very dirty inside joke. It's not what I use on my website, so you can't even find it. And by the way, if you guys want to know what she's talking about, I hate to tell you to leave this, but go and look at Dawnna.com, DAWNNA.com. These are the pictures she's talking about, just in case you're curious. But anyway, here's, oh my God, probably my favorite line ever. And while you are just pretty enough to scrape by with the shots you have, you are leaving meta communication and branding storytelling on the table, and you don't even realize it. Your choice to do it yourself in this area makes you look like small potatoes. Okay, I'm sorry. There's a reason I'm laughing at this. First of all, when I share the information on these live streams, it's for a couple of reasons. The first is because of my own experience, right? So there's something that I learned along the way, and maybe I made a mistake, and I don't want you guys to make that mistake. That's number one. The second is besides making a mistake, there are things that I figured out along the way that kept me from making a mistake, and I want to share those with you so you don't want to make the mistake. So let me tell you about my mistake. The first time I actually had my pictures taken for my website, they were taken professionally by a professional photographer. And this photographer had taken pictures of Eminem, Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, just these huge, huge superstars, like superstars. And they charged me $2,500 to take my pictures. They also charged another $1,500 to do my makeup. So we're talking about $4,000 for my pictures. And these were from my website. Number one, I didn't get any extra business. Number two, if you want to see the pictures, all you got to go and do is look at my photos because they're all there. I spent $4,000 on pictures that didn't get me no extra business. None. I got no extra business. So I'm telling you right now, why would you even bother? Here's the other part of it. So she's really talking about how you should use a professional. And I'm not saying you shouldn't use a professional when you have the money to do so, when it is no longer worth your time, and when you don't have the expertise yourself to do it. In other words, it's not the best and most effective use of your time. But here's the other thing that I think is really funny. What she doesn't know is that I used to do amateur photography. I had tens of thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment. In fact, my photos have actually been sold for a significant amount of money. So I still consider myself an amateur photographer. So I kind of did know what I was doing when I started taking my own pictures. However, I do see the value of someone else doing them. But anyway, I just thought it was so funny that she's saying, you know, I'm an amateur, I don't know what I'm doing. But in actuality, I probably know more about photography than she even thinks I know. But here's the best. This is just so good. And by the way, I love that she's like, you know, you're just pretty enough to scrape by with the shots you have. Oh my God, honey, thank you. Because you know what? I'm going to be 48 years old this year. I mean, I am like 2 years from being 50. And you know, the one thing I haven't done in years is try to get by on my damn looks. I bring enough content to the table that I'm not trying to get by on my looks. I actually get by on my brain. So someone taking pretty pictures of me doesn't mean shit, quite honestly. What I want is to get by on how smart I am. I'm damn near 50. You really think I'm trying to get by on my looks? Come on now. Yeah, baby, 48. I'll be 48 June 25th. What? So I am 47 and a half. I've always wanted to be able to say that, man. Now I can say I'm 47 and a half. Remember when you did that when you were little? Like you always used a little half to make you seem older? I'll be 48 this year. So I'm not trying to get by on my looks. I'm trying to get by on this thing that's right here between my ears. It's called my brain. I've been using that for a long time. I don't think you build a $250 million business intelligence company, which most people don't even know what that is, if you're trying to get by on your looks. Like, seriously. And I love that she says that my choice of using DIY photos makes me look like smaller potatoes, like makes me look like small potatoes. You know, the number one complaint I get from bureaus that hire me is that they think my rate should be higher. And I did over $1 million last year, but whatever. She says, do you think that you really should surround yourself with a team of inexperienced amateurs working for you? again, I'm going to do this one more time. So I have a client who actually runs a wireless company called Deep Blue. And we just had this conversation the other day. He said when he first, it was this weekend actually, he said when he first started his company, he was the guy answering the phone, doing the customer service. He was the guy that was doing accounting, or he got a good friend to do accounting for him. He was the guy going out and doing the installs. He was the guy doing the sales. He was the guy. He was that guy. He was doing everything. You know, when you first start out sometimes, you have to do it all because the return on investment isn't direct, and you can't really risk your cash on things that aren't going to give you a direct return on investment. People who don't promise to you a 10 times return on investment. I'm so sorry. I don't think spending $4,000 on pictures when you first start out is going to give you a $40,000 return on investment. I think that's bullshit. I would prefer to take my money and spend on someone who has reached business success, and they're going to help me reach that business success and give me back 10 times ROI from me doing my work. So I think you got to be smarter, right? You really can. And she goes, DIY is not more effective, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. She goes on to talk about how the pictures that I have on my website aren't professional, that it's really hurting my business, that people aren't hiring me because of it. Okay, first of all, chick, you talking to the event planners that were going to hire me, and they came to you and they said, oh my God, I was so going to hire Dawnna, but her pictures are so not professional, so I made a choice not to do that. Really? You're getting those calls? Because if you are, I'd really love to know who's calling you. I had no idea you knew who was calling you about my business. Number two, I did 62 events last year, and that's not counting the free ones that I do as a give back. So if I count the free ones, I did about 75 last year. I broke 7 figures without even really thinking about it. So I don't think my business is really struggling as much as you might think it is. And here's the other thing. So here is a sales education moment. This woman had an opportunity, and I'm going to talk about that opportunity. Here it is. I am just getting by, right? I am just getting by on halfway decent looks. Thank God. Like I said, damn near 48 years old, and I'm just getting by. But she had an opportunity to say the following, and this is a sales opportunity for her. I would never have gone her direction the way she did it at all. I would have tried something like this. And I really want you guys to hear this. I want you to imagine that you're going to buy a new car. Let's say you want to go and buy a Jaguar, and you're currently driving a Volkswagen. And you walk into the dealership and they look at your Volkswagen and go, are you freaking kidding me? You walked in here with that piece of crap? What were you thinking when you bought it? Were you like really broke and desperate? Was it your home for a while? Why in the hell would you be so stupid as to buy that? You're obviously too poor to even be here. Did you hit the lottery or something? I mean, our car is so much better. You're not going to buy. My response to that is like, you know what? Oh my gosh, I was an idiot. Since I was such an idiot before, I don't think I've gotten that much smarter. Why would I buy your product? Don't ever, 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 ever shit on what someone currently has in order to sell what you have, because they will walk out screaming. What you should do is this, and this I learned from a guy who actually sold me my Mercedes. When I bought my first Mercedes, I walked in and I was driving a Toyota MR2. Toyota MR2 was probably like a $19,000 car at the time, right? And it was cute and I loved it. It was 2-seater and it was a stick shift, and I used to slingshot it and race it, and I loved it. It was a fun car. But when I got in business and I started having to take clients around, I needed something a little bigger, so I wanted to get a Mercedes with 4 seats. And I walked into the dealership, and the guy at the Mercedes dealership looked at me and he said, oh my God, you just drove up in the Toyota MR2. I said, yeah. And he goes, those cars are so much fun. I mean, you put the top back, you get in those things, and you can really fly. He goes, by the way, it's a stick shift. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, do you know how to slingshot in it? And I was like, no, I don't. He goes, you want to learn real quick? So I'm not kidding you. We went out on the highway and he taught me how to use the stick shift to slingshot my car, which for those of you who are car enthusiasts, it's when you redline it and flip it into a higher gear and then just haul ass. So when I went back into the store, he said, so why would you want to give up this car? Now you might say he totally talked himself out of the sale. No, because the last question was, why would you want to give up this car? Not why wouldn't you want to keep it, but why would you want to give up this car? And I gave him all the list of reasons why, even though it's fun and I love it and it's nice and it's exciting, it was not the right car for what I was doing anymore. Of course he got the sale. I was out of there within 2 hours. He didn't even have to sell me. He walked around the showroom and he said, well, based on what you said and based on the kind of car you had before, let me show you that what I think would be perfect for you. Never, ever, ever crap on someone else's work. Never do that. Now, let me show you how she could have actually turned this around, turned it into a promotional opportunity where, quite honestly, I probably would have promoted the crap out of her. What she could have said was, you know what, your pictures are fantastic. And I know back in the day, you probably did those yourself because, I know you like the little amateur photography thing and that was fun. But check this out. For a discounted price, I would love to take some pictures of you. And I'll use those pictures in my portfolio, but I really want to show you how you can use photography to capture your excitement and your essence and your passion and your fun. I don't know that your pictures are capturing that, but I really think that I have a couple of techniques that I can teach you that you can learn from, and it'll be a win-win. I'll get some great new photographs that I can put in my portfolio of someone who's $1 million speaker. And on top of it, you'll have some great new photographs. And all I'm asking for in return is that when people ask you about who did your photos, you say me. Quite honestly, if she said that to me, I would have hired her. But that's not the direction she went. She made a mistake and she went the direction of shitting on what I was currently doing. You should never, ever, ever do that in sales. Don't ever do that. All it does is hurt you. When I call and I speak to an event planner and they tell me I have a speaker, they tell me they have a speaker already, I ask them, who do you have? And they tell me, and I'm like, oh my God, that person's a superstar. You guys are brilliant. I would have totally picked them. That's great. You know what? I would be honored to be on stage after them because they are amazing. I'm not going to go and talk down my colleagues and comrades. I'm not going to go and badmouth their work. I'm going to make sure that they know that I know them and I surround myself by superstars. And that's what makes me a superstar too. I am never going to crap on people. You should never, ever do that. So last thing. So why do people think that I could be such a bitch? Well, here's the truth. I don't back down from confrontation like these. I actually love them. I love for people to go and send me something so I can educate them and make them a little smarter. I love it. So you know what? If you have a commentary, if you have something you want to say to me, say it. Just know that I'm not the person that's going to be running for the hills. I'm the person that's going to stand there toe to toe with you and I'm going to be, let's go. There is nothing more than I love than someone who can really bring a good debate to the table. So while I don't agree with everything that she wrote in her email at all, what I do appreciate is the fact that she had the testicular fortitude to actually send me the email. Hopefully she'll learn a little something from it. Anyway, that's all I got for today. That's my rant. I'm going to I said all for today. I'm actually going to talk to you guys this afternoon right around 1 o'clock. And it's going to be more business stuff. I just wanted to get this out of the way because I did promise her that I would respond on live stream. You're welcome. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.